Hello BookTube! Today I'm coming to you with a tag video. In the past few weeks I've been tagged in a couple of tags, and for one reason or another I haven't had the time to do any of those, so I think it's time to try and catch up with those. And this one is called the Local Haunts tag. This was originally created by Dane Reads, and I was tagged by the Bookish Bryants. Both of those channels will be linked down below. Excellent channels, go and watch the videos if you already haven't. Right, oh yes, actually, questions. Question number 1. Local haunts. Tell us about a creepy or spooky place that's close to you. Well, this is not exactly a creepy or spooky place. More of a, place with a grim history. So I couldn't think of any creepy place, so this is all you're gonna get. And there's very close to my apartment, something like half a kilometer that way. There's this place called Kerttulinmäki, which was previously also known as Hirsipuumäki, or the Gallows Hill, or Hangman Hill. And that hill was used for executions in the 18th century. Here we have a picture. There's a monument or something on the location. Right? Question number 2. A stone's throw. Tell us about the story with a young female character who has a tough life. And for that I chose Sofi Oksanen's Puhdistus, or The Purge. You may have heard of this, translated into English a couple of years ago, rather popular one. And here we follow 2 female characters in Estonia. One is a younger woman and one is an older woman, and we learn about the horrific past, horrific history of Estonia during the Soviet Russia occupation, and blanking out, and the sex trafficking and the abuse of women during that time. And yeah, it's a rather tough story, I must say. Question number 3. Crowthorne. Tell us about a story with a harmful friendship. And I think that Bookish Bryants mentioned Don Quixote for this one, and that's an excellent answer. Like Don Quixote and Sancho Panza are, they have a harmful friendship, but I don't want to give their answer, so I had to find my own, and I chose this manga called Berserk. So Berserk by Kentaro Miura. And here we have 2 of our main characters. We have Griffith in the shining armor and Guts in the darker armor. And yeah, it's a real friendship. They are friends, but it's a very dysfunctional friendship as well. And Griffith is quite a seducing one, and he's also very well, he uses his friendship to further his own goals. So yeah, not a very good friendship. I won't tell you anymore, just in case you want to read the story and find out more about them on your own. Question number 4. Screen 8. Tell us about a movie that scares you and that's based on a true story. Well, I really struggled with this one because when I was younger, I was scared about pretty much all kinds of movies, and these days, scary movies don't really scare me that much. They are entertainment, and yeah, I can. Well, they unsettle me, and I can sort of. Well, but I won't get scared by them as such. So I thought I'd sort of follow that unsettling thing here and mention some movies that sort of creep me out or cause some fear in me in one way or another. The first one is definitely based on a true story, although there's a heavy fictional element, and that is the Titanic. And here we have Jack and Rose. This is from the end, or closer towards the end of the movie. And here we have how Leo DiCaprio here saying, "You're gonna die an old lady, warm in her bed. Not here, not this night, not like this. Do you understand me?" And everything about this scares me. I like water very much, but the idea of being sort of shipwrecked, stranded in the middle of an ocean with lots and lots of water beneath your feet, that is freaking scary, I tell you. And also, if you have to go through that with your loved one, and yeah, try to imagine yourself in this situation. Would it be how scary it would be, to leave your loved one behind in one way or another. Either you die, sacrifice yourself for your loved one, you never see you grow old together, or you are the one who survives and sees the loved one die. I think that is very, very scary thing. And then we have Still Alice, starring Julianne Moore. I don't think this is based on a true story. I don't know, but the disease that our Alice goes through is very real, and that is Alzheimer's disease. And in this movie, it's the early onset Alzheimer's disease that she has to go through, and that scares me. Pretty much all kinds of degenerative diseases scare me, and yeah, it might be really tough to go through, and I don't know. It's just a very scary thought that one day your loved one might not recognize you anymore because he or she has Alzheimer's disease or something like that, or that you can no longer recognize your loved one. No, either way, it's a really scary thought. Yeah, that's probably one of my biggest fears. Like, I am not afraid of getting old, but I am very afraid of getting a degenerative disease like that. And then I thought I would share one more movie in somewhat related to that scary thought. And this is not based on a true story. I don't think. This is Jane Campion's Piano. Now you might wonder, how is this a scary movie? But I don't know how many of you play piano or any other instrument or use your hands a lot. There's one scene in the movie where something rather terrible happens to our main character's fingers. And that is also one of my biggest fears in life. Like, I am not afraid of ending up in a wheelchair. But if something were to happen to my hands or my ability to use my hands, well, that would be really, really devastating. And I would probably end up in a serious depression and lose most of my will to live, so that I don't even want to think of that. It's a really scary thought. So yeah, that kind of scary movies. And question number 5. The Mount of Death. Beer Me. Tell us about the story where a drink plays a role in the plot. And for this, I chose Asterix by Rene Goscinny. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it's Rene Goscinny. And here we have, again, this will be the Finnish names. I'm not sure if they are the same in English. We have Aquavitix, a wise guy, Asterix, Obelix, and of course, let's not forget about Idefix. And there is a magical drink that our Aquavitix is here making in that cauldron, and that drink gives magic, not magical powers, but it gives power to everyone who drink it. So whenever our Asterix here, or Asterix, drinks that, he gains massive strength and powers and is able to kick some Roman ass. Our Obelix here, when he was a child, he almost drowned in one of these and drank a lot of that magic potion and does not have any need to drink magic potion. He is always strong. So yeah, but that drink plays a huge role in the story. Although it's not really a plot twist or anything, but yeah, it plays a role in the story. Right. Question number 6. The Blocked Cellar. Tell us about your favorite horror, paranormal, or true crime YouTube channel. Now, as this kind of stuff doesn't really interest me that much, I don't watch horror, paranormal, or true crime channels. So I thought I would recommend some booktubers who focus on horror books. And the first one is Jason at Jason's Weird Reads. And yeah, he reads lots of horror, weird fiction, and I think he also has a horror podcast, so definitely check out his channel if that's your kind of thing. And then we have one relatively new booktuber. His name is Joshua, and his channel is called Coffee, Cats and King. So that gives you a good idea what to expect from his channel. Yeah. Lots of coffee, there are some cats, and yeah, Stephen King. So yeah, he's a very nice and genuine guy, so I would recommend watching his channel. Of course, both of those will be linked down below. Question number 7. The Night Watchman. Tell us about a story that's set partly at night. And for this I chose A Midsummer Night's Dream by William Shakespeare. Well, as the title suggests, there's Midsummer's Night. Although it's not quite as simple as that. And I'm supposed to tell about that story, but I don't think I am able to give a proper plot synopsis of that mess of a play. There are plays within a play, and it's a bit all over the place. Lots of subplots, but there's romance, there's lots of couples and marriages and fairy shenanigans, magic. But yeah, that is definitely set during the night. There's moonlight is very apparent in that play. And I thought I would share you one lovely painting. This is by Edwin Landseer, and I think it's actually Sir Edwin Landseer. But anyway, here we have Titania, Queen of the Fairies. She has drunk some love potion and is now madly in love with Bottom, and Bottom has been enchanted by, was it Puck, and now resembles an ass. So yeah, there's some Shakespearean wordplay for you. An ass called Bottom. 8. Alone along the gum trees. Tell us about a story that takes place in the wilderness. And for this I chose The Grizzly King by James Oliver Curwood. And this story is about one young bear who sort of befriends one older grizzly bear, and we follow that sort of couple or duo as they survive in the wilderness against some hunters who want to kill them. So yeah, it's a really of nice exploration of a bond between two animals, and yeah, it's rather touching, really, I think. And also one theme in the novel is this idea of a reformed hunter. Like although one has been a hunter to all his life, he can still sort of make a change and sort of repent and change the course of his life. And that's pretty much what our author did. Like James Oliver Curwood, he was into hunting, but at some point in his life he no longer wanted to do that. He made a total change in his life, and yeah, that certainly shows in that novel, that kind of shift in the mindset. And that novel was also adapted into a movie called The Bear by Jean-Jacques Annaud, French film in the late 1980s, if I remember right. And that's also one very exceptional movie. There's very little dialogue, obviously, because it follows two bears. And almost no soundtrack. But yeah, if you have not seen that movie, I highly recommend it. It's not something you see very often. And here we have one famous quote, actually by James Oliver Curwood. The greatest thrill is not to kill, but to let live. And I think that's a nice idea to live by. And I could go on a bigger rant about hunting, but I guess I just won't. Question number 9. Highway to Hell. Tell us about a story that involves music. And for this one I chose The Music of Eric Zahn by H.P. Lovecraft. Now, I'm not the biggest Lovecraft fan, but I think he wrote some very effective stories. For example, I mentioned The Color Out of Space in one of my earlier videos. That's one heck of a story, if you ask me. Also, there's one rather nice story, Under the Pyramid, set in Egypt, featuring Houdini as well. I remember that one. And The Music of Eric Zahn is, in my opinion, one of his better ones. And here we have this one, our main character, Eric Zahn. He's a mute, and he plays viol in his room. And apparently his music attracts some cosmic horrors or something. We don't know exactly what happens, because our narrator, young student who becomes acquainted with Mr. Eric Zahn, I guess we can question his sanity towards the end. Like, no one knows what happens in the story. That's one of those Lovecraftian tricks. Oh, something horrible happened, we don't know what. My sanity is so fragile. But yeah, that's rather effective story. Right. Question number 10. At the end of the rope, tag some Booktube and or HorrorTube friends. And sure, I think I could tag some people. I'm gonna tag Joshua, who I just mentioned. Joshua at Coffee, Cats and King. I'm not sure if you do tags, but here's one if you want to do. And then I'd like to hear what Summer has to say. Summer at Cozy Reading with Quaker Cats. And Sean the Book Maniac. You don't read horror or genre fiction like that, And I'm not sure if you read scary stories either, but I'd like to hear what kind of answers you come up with. And then I'd like to tag one more. Kelly at Books I'm Not Reading. Let's see what you can come up with. So those 4 people, and or if there's someone out there who just wants to do it, then go for it. I'm not stopping you. Yeah, that's one tag out of the way. That was a fun tag. Had to really think of my answers. All right, I guess that's it. Back to my bookie activities and see you soon.